I think that on that note, after wrapping with the governor of Florida, we should turn to our Daily Wire war room and see what's happening in the state of Florida, one of the most important states in the country. Elisha.
You know, Jeremy, you've been talking a lot tonight about that legacy media, and legacy media seems very afraid to call Florida, and the governor there rightfully calling them out. So we're going to do something that we've never done before in Daily Wire history. We got the editor-in-chief, John Bickley, right here. Bickley, what are we doing?
We're doing something very fun for me as a Florida boy. We're calling Florida for Trump. So let's look at it. This is an easy one.
And why is it easy here?
We've got over 95% reporting. He's up by 3%. There's no way that Trump loses this. It's actually, It is absurd that it's not been called, just like the governor was saying. What that does, if we look at the electoral map here, is we see a lot of wins building for Trump.
Okay, so we're going to look at the electoral map. We want to see where the tally is. We have this tally of Joe Biden at 209, Donald Trump at 141. This is where we sit right now with all of the states that have been called by the Daily Wire and members of the mainstream media. Tell me what's happening in Georgia and North Carolina.
Yeah, so we're seeing him build this heartland deep red base here. Georgia, North Carolina, like we said, trending his direction, almost positively going to win those. Ohio, he just keeps pulling away more and more in Ohio, an absolutely pivotal state. He's doing well there. Pennsylvania is still too far off, we can't tell. One of the things that's developing, though, that's not great for Trump is that Arizona is looking bad for him.
Okay, so if Arizona is looking bad, but he can pull out a win in those states that you just mentioned, we're going to look at a potential pathway to victory. What does that pathway to victory look like in this scenario of Donald Trump and Mike Pence losing Arizona?
So when we did our initial analysis, actually our number 2 scenario was him losing Arizona. We thought there was a chance that would happen. If that does happen, how does he make up for it? There's actually an easy way to make up for it.
Okay.
Iowa has always been something that was very attainable for him. We think he's going to get Iowa. All he needs then is to make up for the deficit there, which is really only a few points. He could pick up Nevada. If he picks up one of these states here, like Wisconsin, which is actually he's trending well in, beyond beyond expectations. He was way behind in polling in that. There's some hope there. So there is a way that he could win still. Again, this scenario, which we thought was by polling data the most likely, would give him 273 in the win.
Okay, and I mean, Ben talked about earlier, there's a fear that could we be at 269, 269. This is you guys laying this out. And I have to tell the audience and like giving credit to the War Room and all of the editors and everybody gathering information here at the Daily Wire. We're not just like copying and pasting what other politicos are saying on social media and on television. These guys have worked really hard. These guys have been crunching the numbers, and this is why we have all of these scenarios kind of laid out of what Trump's pathway to victory is going to be and why we're not rushing to call balls and strikes here, in the words of Ben Shapiro. We really want to make sure that we're giving everybody the right information when we get it, and revealing that, once again, like 2016, win, lose, or draw tonight, polling wasn't 100% accurate.
Right. The gap here in Florida is like a 3% gap.
Yeah.
Some of the other states, it's looking like a 5% miss by pollsters. This is another devastating night for pollsters. No matter what happens the rest of the night, it's already devastating for them. And again, we've heard a very consistent narrative, and it's a sort of a depression of the Republican vote. And I think that's why they're not calling Florida. I think it's pretty obvious. We need to call what's happening and seeing how it develops. This is what's happening. There is a trend here. It's a good trend for Trump. It's not that he's cleared out for the rest of the victory. He's got a battle, but it's looking good.